Good morning. How are we doing? So if I'm not sweating enough, does that mean I'm not doing enough? I don't feel like I'm doing enough. That's a question we had yesterday. It comes up a lot actually, because there's a lot of different forms of exercise, especially what we do at Fruci Fit. If you're coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, drop a replay. Happy Sunday. Can't believe it's Sunday already, and it's August on Tuesday. Crazy. And I'm still in a body warmer. Chile or body warm. Anyway, more on that another day. That's like the difference between having breakfast at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, more on that another day. So, do you need to be sweating enough to get results? And here's what I want to touch on. Number one, you've got to consider what exercise is doing for you. What's the aim of exercise? Because if the aim of exercise alone is just to burn calories to lose weight, I'm suggesting here that we change the main focus of what exercise is good for. Yes, exercise does increase energy expenditure, it does burn calories, but exercise alone is quite difficult to help you lose weight alone. It's a contributor, and this is why, given that most people want to tone up, lose a bit of body fat, get fitter, get stronger, improve their cardiovascular health along the way. But, don't get me wrong, weight loss is still quite key for a lot of people, whether that's health reasons or how they look, how they feel, getting into certain clothes. But this is where, number two, we look at exercise as the multiplier, as something that is there to change our body shape, to help us tone up, to help us get stronger, fitter, to make everyday tasks easier, for bone density, for strength, and not just as a way of burning calories. Now, on to the next one. What's this got to do with sweating? Well, if we're looking to build some muscle, aka tone up, lose some body fat, you don't actually need to sweat at all. You could get away with doing zero cardio. And by the way, you can sweat doing resistance exercise and strength work as well. But sweating is very variable in that it could depend on how hot it is. Like you could do quite a low intensity workout on a really warm day, but be sweating loads. It doesn't mean you burn any more fat or anything like that. Similarly, you could have a great workout on a cold day and sweat a little bit. So just to give you a perspective on that, sweating isn't the be all and end all on that. Plus, some people just sweat more than others. Then you've got to consider if you're training in a way that's going to help change your body shape, get stronger, tone up, you're going to start thinking about bone density, improving muscle tone, if you like, whatever terminology we want to call it, build muscle, lose fat, essentially. Then there's going to be some resistance exercise in there. You might be slowing down the tempo. If you're slowing down, there's more tension on the muscle, potentially, within reason, and you're now potentially moving less quick, so more slowly. And the result of that could be that you're not as out of breath, potentially, or maybe not feeling like you're jumping around, not feeling like you're doing as much. And for some, this is what they know they want. For others, sometimes we feel like we need to be moving quicker, doing more quickly. But actually, where does this actual belief come from? Because if like I said, if we want to tone up, build muscle, then actually resistance exercise, like I said, you can get away with not sweating at all and completely changing your body composition. I'll give you an example. When I did physique stuff, so getting very lean, I did not much cardio at all. I just did resistance exercise and did it through nutrition. And that was just my go-to, just because I was working quite a lot, like whether I was doing research and in labs in Oxford Brookes at the time, where you couldn't actually eat or move around too much. But my point being is that just fit my lifestyle to do it like that. And what I'm saying here is to tone up, lose weight, build that muscle. Nutrition has the major role in the fat loss part. Exercise, that resistance work, you can get away with not sweating at all. Now, it's a different question if we talk about cardiovascular health, because then we're talking, okay, I want to build muscle, I want to tone up, I also want to improve my cardiovascular health. Like this, the way I'm walking right now, for me, probably won't have a massive impact on cardiovascular health. It will a bit, but it's not going to push me that much in terms of cardiovascular health. If I start running, if I do a bit of a jog now, then that will. And if I do little sprints and all, that will too. But my steps are helping with calorie expenditure, and they're also getting a lot of benefit in terms of postprandial response to food. So if you have breakfast, go for a walk, you can potentially offset blood sugar spikes just by going for a walk. Yeah, that's right. So if there's a food that slightly raises your blood sugar more than, and you're in, this is why blood sugar responses to foods are quite irrelevant, because I could just go for a 10-minute walk and that would completely offset my personal reaction to the food. Because if you always go for a walk, if you're quite standing up all the time, that could offset it. Anyway, more on that another day. But my point being here is, if I want a cardiovascular kind of change, improve my cardiovascular health, then yes, like you're more likely to be sweating in your workouts. However, if you mix them all of the time, so if I'm always mixing kind of like in one move, I'm never going to focus on one or the other. So if I do, there's a time and a place for everything. I might do 15 minutes more resistance work, 15 minutes more cardio work. It's a good way to split them if you've got half an hour. If I've got 10 minutes, I might do 10 minutes resistance work in the morning, 10 minutes more of my cardio work. Just like now, I'm doing a walk right now, and then I'll do a bit of resistance work through the day. But if I was on a run and I did some pull-ups or some push-ups, that can interfere a little bit with how much energy I have for my resistance work. And the reason I'm saying that is I could do two separate workouts. One, I don't sweat at all, like some pull-ups, some bicep curls, push-ups, squats. I might not actually sweat at all. I'm a bit out of breath when I'm doing the set. That's it. The other one, if I'm doing cardio, I'm doing a brisk walk, maybe a bit of a jog, a run, then I'm going to sweat. Doesn't mean that one's like more of is going to get me better results than the other, because it depends on what my result actually is. What result do I actually want? Is it lose fat? Is it toning up? Is it building muscle? We've got to fit that to your goal. And that's what we recommend. In our one-to-one, in our kickstart, we can push you towards more. So, I'm going to tone up my arms. Right, great. Arms workout Thursday morning. Bang, let's go. So this is where it gets a bit more specific. And we need to get out of that space, because actually, what if that belief was actually holding you back? What if that belief that we had to be sweating was actually stopping you getting results that you wanted? Because you weren't sweating, you stopped doing the resistance work. That's the question. Anyway, I hope that helps. Any questions, as always, let me know. And enjoy the weather. Blue sky right now. Rare sight. Yeah. So have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you.